Hi, I'm Nik Kershaw and you're watching Entertainment Focus.
So how are you?
I'm good, yeah.
So we were just talking about the Olympics because obviously it's a big thing this week. Have you been sucked into it as much
I
as
have
everyone
been,
else?
it's weird, there's a weird sort of buzz everywhere. I mean, not just I don't live in town, but even out of town, it's kind of, everybody's getting wrapped up in it.
Are you going to see anything?
No, I didn't, I just didn't bother. I was a bit of a party pooper beforehand. I was just kind of, so when something big comes up, and then when we got the Olympics, everybody was, yeah, I'm going, really? We're gonna mess it up. It's gonna cost so much money and all the things that you're not supposed to say. But it's actually going rather well. Yeah, I'm quite proud to be British at the moment.
Definitely. So you've got a new album called appropriately 8 because it's your 8th studio album.
Yeah, a lot of thought went into that.
Tell us about the record and how it came to be and what fans can expect from it.
Well, really, I can't. It's 2006 was the last record. I got my own record company. I set my own deadlines. I can kind of do what I want. I'm very fortunate position like that, So really, it's down to when I feel like making a record. It's pretty much, people are always saying, "Oh, when's the next record coming?" or whatever. But it just didn't feel ready for years and years. I just didn't feel like there was another record there. And just one day I woke up and I thought, okay, bit of a stirring in the loins. I'm gonna go in the studio and see what happens. And I literally went in with nothing. I didn't have any. I had one song. Then I wasn't actually sure I was going to use that, but I had one song, and then the rest was just done from scratch. And it took about 18 months, just because the studio's at home, just dipping in and out of it in between, changing nappies and clearing up cat sick. You just kind of pop in, do a bit of guitar, a bit of a vocal, don't like that, chuck it out, start again, do another one. Just the process of the songs evolving, and the recording and the writing came sort of together. Really, it's not like I wrote a bunch of songs and then recorded, and they all happened at the same time.
So it must be quite nice because obviously you've been in the industry over 30 years now.
Yeah.
Or coming up to 30 years. So it must be nice to have that creative freedom as well when it comes to recording an album.
Yeah, I mean, I always had, as far as the music was concerned, I was quite lucky. I had control over that. I had that kind of freedom. Not necessarily freedom in that how much time I could take over stuff and the way the career was mapped out and all that. That was just kind of, you're just a victim of circumstance to a large extent back in the day. But yeah, it's not, there's no rush. There's not anymore. There's no kind of panic. Quick, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. It's just when I'm ready, really. I'm very spoiled.
Because it was actually going to be one of my questions. How do you approach the recording of an album? Is it a spontaneous thing, or do you consciously think, okay, in 2012 I'm going to release my next record?
I was aware of the fact that I hadn't released an album for a few years, yeah. But even that wasn't going to make any difference if there was nothing there, So there had to be a want to do it. But apart from that, yeah, it was going in one morning. I've been doing bits and pieces of media music and for TV and stuff like that. So I've still been writing. I've still been creating.
Yeah.
And I sat down. I thought, am I going to do some of that, or am I going to do something for me? Something for that I'm actually end up being on stage performing. Do I want to get back into that? So there's a whole kind of different consequences to actually making a record. It's not just making a record. You have to. Am I going to follow it through? Am I going to want to do all that again? And I just thought, yeah, I'll do it.
So how would you describe the sound of the new album? I mean, has it got the same, classic Kershaw step to it, or?
Well, I mean, people still say to me, "Yeah, I knew it was you as soon as I heard it," and it still sounds like a Kershaw record. But that's partly because there's certain things you can't escape. And when I open my gob, a certain voice comes out. There's nothing I can do about that. So that's one thing that's going to identify it. And I'm lucky enough to have quite a distinctive voice. So there's that respect. But as far as kind of a direction or a concept or genres is concerned, there isn't really a direction or a one idea that flows through the whole thing. They're just songs, really, just a bunch of songs about life. Because I kind of... The problem I've been exposed to so many different kinds of music over the years and played so many different kinds of music, pretty much everything, and it's all gone in and it's all had an effect. So when a song comes up, it just says that to me that this is how I want to be recorded. and this is how I want to sound. And if it sounds a bit folky, then it's folky. If it sounds a bit jazzy, then it's a bit jazzy. I don't sort of stop myself doing something because it's not the right kind of thing, or people won't expect it, or it's not, it's not in the right pocket. I just get on and make the record. So in the end, you get a record that's like, I don't know what this is. Is this folk? Is this rock? Is this? Don't know. But that's a luxury to be able to do that.
It's obviously quite important to be diverse as well, in the current music scene.
Yeah, it's only a problem for like marketing people, and when you put your track on iTunes and it has to, you have to put your metadata on, and then you have to put genre and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, well, I don't really know. It's not pop? Is it pop? It's a bit pop, and that one's pop, that one isn't, and it's like that's where it's difficult. It's just trying to get to the right audience because you don't know who your audience are.
Do you feel the pressure of shifting to a different genre to sort of match the current?
No, I never. I'm shamefully out of touch. Really, I don't pay that much attention. I mean, obviously, I'm exposed to the same things that everybody else is with mass media. I get all the Jessie J's and the will.i.ams and all that coming at me, and some of it's great, and I haven't got a problem with it. But I don't go looking for stuff. I don't know what's supposed to be trendy. But then I never did. I was never accused of being fashionable. So in that respect, I can never be unfashionable because it was never a factor.
Well, if you don't have it, you've never lost it.
Exactly,
you can never lose it. So this year's obviously a big year. You've got your new record, but Human Racing, which was your debut, also got a reissue. Does it feel like it's been 28 years since that album got released?
Yeah. It seems like a long time. It was a lot. It seems. I mean, I still connect with the songs. I kind of. They're still part of me, I guess. But when sort of looking back at the old photographs and the old interviews and the YouTube clips and stuff, and it's just I don't connect with that person at all. That seems like such a long time ago. It really does. And the things and it's all a bit of a haze.
So, I mean, you say it's a haze. What are your fondest memories, if you have any, of that time? I mean, the 80s was such a significant time for British music, and you were a top contributor in that. So, what are your fondest memories? It
was a very exciting time, and it was what I wanted to do. There's no doubt about the fact that wow, this is really happening, and that was very exciting. I think the one thing about it I regret is that there didn't seem to be any point at which you went, I've done it. I've done what I wanted to do, because you never get there because you're surrounded by people that just want a little bit more. You haven't quite done that territory yet, and you've got to get, haven't cracked it in the States, and you haven't done this, and we've got the other album coming out, and you've got to keep up there, and it's like panic all the time because you just want to keep on top of it. And my regret is that I just didn't sort of stop every now and again and just take it all in. Because I really didn't. It was almost like it was something that happening to me. I wasn't happening to it. And I was just dealing with stuff all the time, rather than sort of being making it happen.
Yeah. Do you feel like you adjusted to the lifestyle? Because you took your
I didn't know. I didn't.
Status took off quite quickly, didn't it?
Yeah. I wasn't a very good pop star. I don't think. I didn't behave like one, which I don't think the press liked very much, because they didn't have anything to get their teeth into. I'm just a country boy, and I didn't do what I was supposed to do, really. And I was never comfortable. It's not something I was really had any training for. I mean, I'd served an apprenticeship playing the guitar and looking at getting into music and writing songs and stuff like that. So I knew all that. I knew about recording. My comfort zone is a recording studio. But as soon as someone started a camera on a microphone in front of me like that, and says, "What do you think about this?" and I was like, I don't know, really. You really want to know? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to present myself visually, what to do on stage as a front man, because I used to stand at the back. I was a guitarist in a functions band. That was my thing. So I don't think I wasn't very good at it. I wasn't a very good pop star.
Obviously, you have to have been good enough to be lasted. You know, you've lasted 30 years. In the
Yeah, but
business.
not as a pop star as such, really. I think. I mean, other people who were good at it sort of took it further, and they grew with their fans, and they stayed with the public thing. And even when they weren't making records, you'd still see them on the telly, or they were still, out and about in the clubs, or they were doing this and that, and they're keeping up there, And the only time I kind of put on a public face was when I had a record out, and that became such an even more rare happening. So yeah, no, it's never been. I'm probably more comfortable doing it now, or doing the promo thing now, than I was back then, because I'm not worried about. Also, back then I was so panicked about getting discovered, found out that I was just a geezer. I didn't deserve all this attention. I really didn't, because I was just this geezer. So I guess I had this thing going, trying to be as mysterious as possible. It's bonkers.
So, what do you think the secret to longevity is? As someone who's been a player in the industry for 30 years.
I don't know. It's a lot of luck involved. I think just being bloody minded and keep going no matter what. I mean, everybody gets knocks and gets knocked back over the years, and I've had a few. But you just keep going. And I think the fundamental thing is the love of what you do. Is the music. It's the fact that it gives you something and it feeds you, and I have to. It's something I have to do. It's not. I don't have a lot of choice in it. I'm no good at anything else. I'm pretty much unemployable.
How do you think you've changed as an artist over the years? As a songwriter, a recording artist, and because you said that with the years, the promoting side of it has gotten better. How do you think you've grown as a recording and a songwriting artist?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a weird industry, really, because you kind of the older you get, the more difficult it is to get any attention. But the older they get, then surely the better you get. I mean, you're getting more experience. Yeah, like fine wine. You're getting more experience. You're learning how to do stuff. Your technique's getting better. Your the craft that you studying, the songwriting, that's getting better. So you're getting better, but you're getting less attention. That's kind of that's the paradox of this business. I forgot what the question was. What was the question?
How you've changed as an artist?
Oh, I have changed. Well, I've changed a lot. I think. I mean, over the years, I had a long break in the 90s when I just kind of wrote for other people, produced for other people. So when I bought that record out in '98, 15 Minutes, that was a massive kind of leap from the previous album in 1989. Completely different. Yeah. I just think I got better. I mean, I've got no problem with the old songs. I'm still proud of them, but they're all a bit crude and a bit stumbling about in the dark to me. I didn't really know what I was doing. I think I kind of know what I'm doing a bit more now.
What do you prefer? Because I mean, I know that you've written and produced a lot for other artists over the years, and that's why you've taken such large breaks with your own recording career. What is it that you preferred? I mean, do you still enjoy the recording lifestyle for your own music, or do you enjoy more dedicating your time to other artists?
I enjoy both. I don't do a lot of writing anymore. I think when I got back into making records, you get very selfish again, and I'm a bit of a control freak, which is why I kind of started making my own records again, because ultimately the whole writing thing and producing for other people was frustrating, and that you never get to follow an idea through from its conception to that finished thing and present it, and there it is. This is what that idea was. There it is. Because there's so many other people involved, there's so many hands involved, there's so many A&R departments and marketing people, managers, artists, other producers.
Too many fingers in the pie.
There's so many fingers in the pie, and inevitably the record comes out and you go, that's not what I meant at all. That's nothing to do with that idea that was there in the first place. But having said that, writing with other people, you get to meet some great people. You get to hang out with some really interesting people. You get to learn a lot. You get to learn how they approach certain things and songwriting and the things that they do. So it's been an incredibly valuable experience for me, and I still do bits and pieces.
So going back to your new album, would you say it's your best work today?
Yeah, but I still that's still qualified that by saying that the reason you keep making records is that is because you're still looking for the one, you know, to get the perfect one. You're still trying to make the perfect record, which is why I'll probably make another one, because this isn't the perfect record. I'm very proud of it. Some great moments on it, and there's a couple of tracks I'm particularly proud of, but it's not perfect. And at some point you just, especially when you're producing it yourself, you just have to say, right, let's stop. Finish. It can always be different. I can always change that. I can always change that. But you're never going to be totally satisfied.
It'll keep you going forever.
Yeah, you keep it going. So you have to make an executive decision and go, right, this album is finished. Let's move on.
So you're performing at BT London Live on the 8th of
Wednesday,
August in Hyde Park.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be taking the record out on the road for fans to hear the new music?
Yes, the new album's coming out on the 6th, and we'll be touring it in September. Doing a UK tour, 9 dates, ending up at Shepherd's Bush on the 28th September. Haven't toured with the band since 2001, so that's going to be fun. I've played gigs with the band. We've done festivals and various little sort of one-offs in Europe and all over the place. But it'll be fun actually doing a little tour. It'll be also fun because Human Racing, the first album, was re-released at the beginning of the year. I thought it would be a good idea just to play that in its entirety. So that one portion of the show is going to be the whole album, and then we'll play some songs from the new album. We'll play some. I don't know exactly what we're going to play other than that, but there'll be sort of highlights from the years in between those two albums. Really, it's like a potted history.
Exciting year ahead.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about it because it's only like the tour's only sort of 6 or 7 weeks away, and I don't know what songs we're going to play or even how we're going to do some of them.
It must be exciting to join the band again as well
it's great to be
for a series of.
It's great. Yeah, it's just you can be like a kid again. Really, it's just like band camaraderie and humour. It's just there's nothing like it.
Well, thank you very much. I hope the album does really well, and I hope the gigs go very
Thank
successfully.
You. Thank you.
Thank you for talking.